Hi, everyone, and welcome to Lake Oswego United Church of Christ. My name is Adam Erickson, and I'm going to talk with you a little bit today about one of the passages we're going to be reading this Sunday, June 11th at church. We start at 10:30, so if you're not doing anything Sunday morning, come on over and hang out with us because we're going to be talking a little bit about Psalm 8. Psalm 8 is actually a pretty famous psalm, and it's a psalm about God's majesty. And it asks, who are we humans that God thinks about us? It talks about God being the creator of all that is. And the psalmist looks into the sky and sees all these beautiful stars in the dark night sky and feels so small. Have you ever felt that way? Have you ever looked out into the sky at night and seen the vastness of the universe, the mystery that is out there, and thought, who are we that God would think of us? And we are so small. Maybe you haven't felt that way by looking up into the sky, but I felt this way once when we were moving from Chicago back here to Portland, and we were driving across, and I had this big giant Penske truck, you know, those big yellow ones. It was full of stuff, and it was the biggest one. It was like 30 feet long, and we were going through Montana, and Montana has mountains, and we were going up this big giant mountain, and I had to floor it just to get up. And then, you know, when you go up a mountain, you go down a mountain. And so I was going down the mountain, flooring it, and it was a twisty, curvy mountain, and I couldn't stop. So I had the brakes on the whole time to try to slow down, but the brakes weren't doing anything. I just kept going, and I felt so little in this giant Penske truck going down this giant mountain. And all of these curves, and you know they have those little like rails that are going to protect you in case you fall off the mountain. They weren't doing nothing for me in that giant Penske truck. I felt so small. And the whole time driving it, I was so scared. And I thought, God, I hope you're thinking of me right now. So there are these times in our lives when we feel so small, and the psalmist insists that despite how small we feel, God still cares about us. Why does God care about us? Because that's who God is. God is love. God is present throughout human history, leading humans into a bigger view of the world. You notice in this psalm that God is for all of humanity. And this is part of how the Bible is opening us up to a bigger view of the world. Because for so much of human history and also human present, we tend to divide the world into us and them. And here, there is no us and them. There's just humanity. And this is what the psalmist is trying to get us to see. God is not just for us, and so against them. God is for all of humanity. God is present in the world, leading us all forward into a better future of peace and love and justice. And it's up to us to get on board with God's plan. So those are some thoughts. And I thought maybe with your family, you could talk about times when you felt like small. You could take a walk out in the night sky and look up and just be in awe of the majesty of creation. And that discussion and that walk might be a fun thing to do. So hope you can join us this Sunday at 10:30 here at Lake Oswego United Church of Christ. Until then, grace and peace be with you. Bye-bye.